We continue with the MSG 150 final and a special treat tonight. Patrick Ewing is in town. He joins us on the video call center. He will coach the Hoyas tomorrow night against Texas at MSG. The game comes your way at 7. Patrick, it's so great to have you on the show. Your third year as Georgetown's coach. Last year you guys made the NIT. So far this year you're 3-1. What are you hoping for out of your team this year?
First of all, thank y'all for having me on. You have two of my most favorite people there. You have one of my alumni there. You have another guy who played for some other school, but he's a Knick, so I let him slide with that.
Patrick, just so you know, John said you never talked to him when you were teammates, just so you know.
We spoke a lot. I tried to, take him under my wings as one of my rookies. But no, I'm looking forward to having a great year this year. Texas is a great team. They are very well coached. They have some great talent on that ball club. We have to bring our A game if we want to be able to get a win tomorrow.
Patrick, first of all, thank you for everything you've done for me in my career, all the hard work that you've shown me. But, you and I are both four-year college players. How do you feel about the one-and-dones that's going on with today's college world?
Well, the funny thing is, if I was a young athlete coming in this era, I probably would be one of those one and dones. I was fortunate enough to be a great athlete, played hard, learned a lot from Coach Thompson. I thought my 4 years at Georgetown was 4 of the best years of my career. And I could have left early back then, but I made a promise to my mom that I would graduate, and I did. I accomplished that goal for her. But, in this era, with the type of money that's been thrown around in the NBA, I probably would be one of those young men, if I was living in this era, that would leave early.
Coach, I was on campus with Lil Pat, your son, and then my dad, of course, is a big Georgetown guy. So there's no question in my mind about where you stand in the Mount Rushmore of Georgetown greats. But what's it like for you recruiting? I mean, your players now were barely born when you were doing your thing.
Yeah,
what's that like?
They weren't. A lot of them weren't even. A lot of them were just being born. It's funny because, but they do really see. They play me on in the video games. They watch old games. But the funny thing is that in terms of recruiting, I've been into a lot of young people's home. The parents, of course, they know who I am. And they'll be, you're my best, you're my favorite player of all time. And I have yet to get one of those kids. So it's great to be recognized. It's great to be known. It's even great to be one of their favorite fans. But I still haven't been able to parlay it into get any of these great players.
Coach, you've been around the game, obviously, for years. Great college career, fantastic pro career here with the Knicks. And now, after many years as an assistant in the NBA, you're a head coach at the college level. Talk about the evolution of the big man and now all the desires teams to have guys that can hit the three with the size.
Well, I have had a great career in the NBA, and I was part of with my longevity in the NBA. I was in there when the evolution of the transformation, I should say, of the big man changed. Everybody, I think it started back in 92, or I'm sorry, 94, when we made it to the finals. It was a low-scoring finals that year. So the NBA made a decision that they wanted to freedom of movement. So everybody, they wanted the floor spread. They want the points, more points, less emphasis on defense, more on offense. And I think that's what changed it. And then also a lot of the Europeans that came into league, a lot of the European bigs, they were three-point shooting bigs. So I think that also helped changing it. But the funny thing is, now that I'm in college and I'm recruiting all these kids, every big now that I recruit, none of them want to be on the block. They all want to be at the three-point line, shooting threes, putting on the floor. And the funny thing is, if you look in the NBA, most of the guys who post up now are the guards. Very rarely are the big man on the block, with his back to the basket. He's at the three-point line, shooting three, trying to make plays.
Patrick, when you were with the Knicks in '90, we actually have a clip of a three that you made. If you were in the league now, would you have to change the way you played most of your career?
No, I wouldn't have changed the way I played. I knew where my bread was buttered. Even though I could shoot, and the three was a little deeper than I shot it, especially when I was there. But I got my three the old-fashioned way. Pump fake up and under, hit the body, get the basket, and go to the free throw line, and make the free throw. That was my game. I was dominant at that, and I don't think I would change. It would change by any means.
Coach, we talked about where you stand in Georgetown. You also are well documented in Knicks lore. What's your relationship with Coach Fizdale now?
Oh, we have a great relationship. We text each other every now and then. He had me come and talk to the team when he first got the job. They were here. They were in D.C. Came over and spoke to the team. He invited me to shoot around this year when they came back to town. I wasn't able to attend because we had practice. I had to get ready for practice or get ready for a game. I forgot what it was. But he and I have a great relationship. We have known each other from when he was in Atlanta, and we've kept up the friendship.
Pat, I've loved you from day one, right? And watching you work personally up close. And all my memories of the New York Knicks obviously include Patrick Ewing. Can you explain some of your memories to us? What do you remember from the Knicks most?
I remember being drafted, Dave DeBusschere, then winning the lottery. I remember my first game, Moses kicking my butt. I remember us winning, finally getting to the championship. You know, when you work at something or you have dreams, you always dream to win championships. And I after winning all the championships I won in high school, got to the finals in college 3 times. I thought it was going to be that easy to get to the NBA finals in the NBA. And I was in for a rude awakening. But, and then also them heisting put my number into the rafters. That was the culmination of a great career. And I thank the owners. I thank the fans. I thank my teammates, you included. It was a great run.
Patrick, what's it like for you to be a head coach at the Garden?
It's funny because most of the time when I come here to coach, I'm coaching against St. John's. My first year, I remember the fans, they were like, oh, my God, Patrick, it's so hard to hate you now. We hated you when you was playing at Georgetown, but now that you're the coach and you've been a Knick for so long, it's hard to hate you.
Patrick, hey, we can't thank you enough for dropping by. Best of luck tomorrow night and the rest of the way. By the way, Wallace on the show has been uncoachable. If you have any hints or some suggestions on how to maximize his ability, let us know.
17. He has to run those 17s that Pat run. And Jeff Van Gundy.
He's been out of shape for 30 years. Patrick, thanks so much.
Good luck,
Thanks,
Beast.
Thank you. See you later.
Patrick Ewing, the best of the best. And we're going to go over John Wallace's best of the best on the NBA front, and also a preview of a taste of the Garden with Monica McNutt serving as tour guide as we continue with Food Week coming up.